Hey guys, it's Danny, and today I have a Jeffree Star video, and this one's like a little weird. I don't know. Like, I just thought I would come on here and tell you guys some stuff. As you guys know, I love me some Jeffree Star eyeshadow. I do. I love his eyeshadow formula. I think his packaging is great. Although the trunks in particular, take up so much space, and yeah. So I always said, I don't know how many times I ever said it on here, but like talking to like my hubby and stuff, I always told him I would never, I would never depot any of my Jeffree Star stuff. I would never get rid of any of my Jeffree Star shadow palettes, because all of them had a couple eyeshadows I really liked, but I was like, I'll never depot them. I'll never depot them. Well, I did it. I depotted 4 of my Jeffree Star eyeshadow palettes. I didn't label these in any way. I'll be able to tell you like a roundabout, like I can tell you at least what some of them like go to, and then some of them aren't even, because some of them are actual singles I got from mystery boxes too. But basically I depotted my Beauty Killer 2 palette because I only wanted like I only wanted a couple eyeshadows out of that one because I liked it. I thought it was pretty. Some of my shadows got hard pan really bad, and I really only used a couple of them, so I just kept the ones I knew I would use. I depotted my Bloodlust palette. That one had been out of my collection for a while because I never used it, so I set it aside and like was gonna give it away. I've had like 2 or 3 of those palettes too, but I didn't have anyone else to give it to. It was the one that I actually did use when I used it. Like I said, I only used it a couple times though for videos. But I was like, I really liked a couple of the shadows. Like I said, there was a couple of the shadows I really liked, and I was like, I'd use those more if they were in a different thing because I never reached for it. I also depotted my mini Jawbreaker palette, again because I only really used like 2 shadows out of it. And even then, I never reached for that palette. I just really liked those 2 colors, so I was like, well, I'm going to take them out and put them in a thing so that way I can at least have those in case I ever want them. And then I also depotted my Blue Blood palette. And that alone, just the Blue Blood palette, because that motherfucker was this goddamn thick, freed up so much space in my Jeffree Star eyeshadow drawer. Because the way my vanity is set up, it has 3 drawers, and the top drawer is where I keep like my highlighters and my mini eyeshadow palettes, like the ones that are like this size, like the 9-pan ones from Jeffree. And where I keep like my eyeliners and my mascaras and like little primers and powders and stuff like that. I keep them on the top. And then in the middle drawers where I keep all of my Jeffree Star palettes, other than the aforementioned like 9-pan palettes, because those go in the other drawer. And I used to keep my lippies in there, but I had a Jeffree Star lipstick holder, and conveniently just all of my lip products just kind of fit on that. So I just, except for a couple that just really wouldn't fit, and I put them in the little container with my highlighters. So, but for the most part, all my lipsticks are on a stand on top. And then, like I said, the middle drawer has all my big Jeffree Star palettes, and all my Jeffree Star highlighter palettes are also on that top drawer. And then the bottom drawer has all of my other eyeshadow palettes from other brands. And so that's what I did. That's how I did that. And like I said, I'd always said I would never depot anything, but I depotted like 4 different pallets. And like I said, Bloodlust had been out of my palette, or out of my collection for a while, but I really did like a couple of the shadows, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm doing it. And I did the same with Beauty Killer 2. I did the same with the Mini Jawbreaker, and then I did, like I said, with Blue Bloods. And Blue Blood, like I said, holy freaking crap, cleared up so much space because it was freaking 2 inches, if maybe even more. It was this fucking thick. Like, the trunks take up so much space. I love the trunks. I do. I think they're really cool. They're usually really cool in shape. I still want to get the freaking Gothic Beach one, and that's gonna be a trunk, obviously, and I'm just like, they're so thick and they can be so hard to undo. So, but I guess out of all of them, Blue Blood was always like my least favorite. I just kept it because it had some really good nudes in it. I didn't really use too much of the blues, and I was like, you know what, I don't care. I think I bought it secondhand from someone. No, I didn't even buy it. I take that back. I traded someone. They got it in a mystery box, and I traded them 2 of the, they are now discontinued, Jeffree Star liquid highlighters that he came out with, those liquid highlighters, that he discontinued. I don't know why, because they were freaking gorgeous. I do still have one, I think. I sent her 2 of those and she sent me the palette, so I was like, psh, awesome. Anyway though, basically, I just wanted to show you guys like what I depotted, what I kept. I do have this little Jeffree Star 9-pan magnetic palette, and like I said, I can't tell you really what colors are what. I can kind of tell you what came from what, kind of. But I have these ones. Pretty sure these 2 up here are ones that I got. Yeah, these are singles I'd already got. Like, this is 1985, and this one is Owl Eyes, I think. This one, pretty sure this one came out of the Bloodlust palette. This is Yak Farm. This was a single I already had. Pretty sure this one was from, I'm pretty sure this is Hot Fudge, and that it was from the Mini Jawbreaker one. This one came out of the Blue Blood one. I want to say this one did too, but I don't remember, and I think this one came out of Bloodlust. And then I've got this big one, which I was just thinking to myself, I keep this one with my palettes that aren't Jeffree Star, because it used to have non-Jeffree Star eyeshadows in it too, and then I rearranged them with another magnetic palette I had, and now this is just Jeffree Star. So this should probably go in my Jeffree Star eyeshadow palette drawer. But so I think I'm going to move it to the other drawer when I go to put these up. But this is the shadows that I have. So between this and this one, so how many do I have in here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I have 18 eyeshadows in here, and then there's 9 in here. I know, I think 2 of these, which are going to be these 2 right here, these were singles I already had, and they are both from the Cremated palette. But so these huge ones right here that if these ones weren't so big, I could have fit more in here. But these big 4 ones right here, these 4 great big ones, these are the ones that came from the Beauty Killer 2 palette, because they're so large, because he went back to because his first 2 palettes, the original Beauty Killer and the Androgyny palette, their eyeshadows were huge, and that was like his big thing, was like, I give you guys, yeah, it was a 10-pan palette. He's like, but hey, the pan sizes are humongous, and they were. And so these are the ones I kept from that one. And this one I think is called Guillotine Dream or something guillotine, and it was just this really pretty gun metal kind of color. It's so soft and gorgeous, but look at that color. And then this one, I cannot remember what this one was called. I just remember thinking it was gorgeous, and that's obviously this one. And then I just kept these 2 nudes because they were nudes. This one is coming up almost like army green, and it's not, it's brown, I swear. And then obviously I kept this little one too, because I was like, well, I'm gonna keep the nudes and I'm gonna keep the brown. And then I have these ones. This one was from Blue Blood. I want to say this one was too, but I don't remember. That one might have been. Hold on, I'm going to see if that one has anything written on the bottom of it. It does not. This one was obviously from Bloodlust. This one and this one were also from Bloodlust. This one was from Bloodlust. And then these 3 down here were from Blue Blood. This pink was from Bloodlust. I think I already said that. I think this one was from Bloodlust. That was from Blue Blood. So, yeah. No, wait. No, I lied. This one wasn't from, was it that one? Yep, I lied to you guys. This one's not from Bloodlust. This one is actually from the Mini Jawbreaker, because it's called Oral, because it's like a duochrome one that I really liked. So that was a fib. I guess I just saw purple and was like, oh yeah, Bloodlust. Nope, I was wrong. So yeah, these are the ones I kept. Also, just on a side note, sorry, my nose itched. So on a side note, Jeffree Star's palettes are actually kind of easy to depot. They're not bad. I have one of those little tools that have a little spatula at the end, and then the other side is a pointy, one side is rounded, one side is pointy. And I just took the pointy side and I just kind of stuck it right on the, I would stick it right on the edge of where the palette was, and where you could see the pan, and I would just kind of, and then I would just kind of very easily kind of wiggle it around and kind of to pry it up. And for the most part, honestly, they came right up, and they not only did they come right up, but I didn't really break any of them, with the exception of whichever one this one is, and this one, which I think is Hot Fudge. As you can see, I broke a little right there, and I broke a little in that corner, and I blame Hot Fudge because it was one of the first ones I did. And then this one, it slipped and I kind of dug the tool in it a little bit. So, there's that. I am thinking about, and like I said, I tried to make these look good. I tried to make this look really super cohesive, which I thought I did, but I don't know. It's every time I look at it, I'm I could make one better, but then I'm like, I don't really know if I could. And then like this one just has like the leftovers in it, you know. But I'm thinking about starting to like use this one kind of like, I don't want to say a project pan, because every single time I say I'm going to do a project pan, or I want to do a project pan, or I'm only going to use this eyeshadow palette till I hit pan. And I did do that once with a Tarte palette, one of the little like 6-pan ones, and it was great. I hit pan on like 2 or 3 shadows at one point, but by the end of it I was so freaking sick of it. So I don't ever like to do that, but I do want to kind of like use this palette up because I kind of made it and I kind of like it, and I think it would look really cute. I think I do a lot because I have a good amount of shimmers. I have like mattes. I have kind of an off-white color for no reason really, then I could just have it, I guess. You know, so I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do this one too. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be moving this one into my Jeffree Star eyeshadow drawer, because now I'm thinking about it, it needs to go there. Because I always had this one in the other one, because no matter what was in it, it never really had Jeffree Star eyeshadows in it. I do have one other Jeffree Star eyeshadow that I didn't show, and that is just because it's just the plain white. I think it's the white that came, the pure bone white. Like the pure just stark bright white shadow. I think it's the one that came in the cremated palette, but it's it's in another magnetic palette with some other eyeshadows, but that's only because I couldn't fit it in anything else. And it's just like a white. I don't really use like white like that. Whites like that. So yeah. I don't know. I was shocked that I actually depotted some Jeffree Star shadows, and just wanted to kind of like, I guess, share and kind of show you guys, like tell you guys the ones that I depotted, you know, kind of show you the colors that I kept. Like I said, I didn't label anything because I'm a heathen and I don't care enough. And also to, on some of these I can kind of tell which color is what, or at least where it came from. I may not know the name, but I know where it came from. You know, so there's that. And then like I said before, his palettes, like they were actually, I was like thinking, I'm sure some of them are gonna be hard. Like if you ever got like, say, the Star Wedding palette, you're not gonna be able to, you are not going to be able to depot that because it's set in acrylic. There's nothing to give, where everything else has like kind of like the cardboard and foam board like in there, so that kind of has some give where you can kind of push down and like really kind of wedge up in there. And even getting the glue off was fairly easy. All I did was I popped it up, and then I took a toothpick, kind of wedged it into the glue, and then I would twist the toothpick and it would just pull it all up, and it didn't even really leave any sticky residue either, so that was really great. So yeah, if you want to like depot some Jeffree Star palettes, you totally can. They're pretty easy to do. I always said I would never, because the packaging was super nice and fancy and it cost a lot of money. And I think that's also like why my husband was like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know. So I didn't tell him I did this. But even then, they were ones, like I said, I wasn't keeping. The only eyeshadow palette I have I still technically have it, but it's not in my collection anymore, and I'm planning on giving away, is Pricked. And I'm not going to depot any of those, because I really did not like the Pricked palette at all. It was really, really pretty, but it was really, really, really orange. And I know he said it wasn't like, you know, you can tell it's kind of an orangey, like an orangey neutral kind of one, but I was deceived by the computer, because when he did his video swatching them, and when I would look at pictures and look on the internet, a lot of them that I'm like, oh yeah, a lot of them that looked kind of orangey looked more neutral, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll be able to use that. No, I couldn't. It was way too orangey, I didn't like it at all. So that one I do still have. I'm not going to depot that one because I don't like any of the shadows, but I'm not going to keep it either. Eventually I will find someone to give that to. So yeah, this video was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. and it's mostly just me like kind of just talking, but you know what? It's cool. If there's anything you want to see, nail polish wise, makeup wise, you know, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, yeah. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.